Hello and welcome to my lecture on effect of solvent in nucleophilic substitution reaction. Solvent plays a very crucial role in organic synthesis. They affect solubility, stability, reaction rate. Sometimes, depending on the solvent used, a reaction can be controlled, and the reaction can be either thermodynamic control or it can be kinetic control. But remember, most organic solvents are harmful to health and environment. Therefore, researchers are in search of organic solvents which are non-toxic, non-volatile, safe, recyclable and biodegradable. There are very few solventless reactions known in the literature. Water is an universal solvent and is a green solvent, but very few organic compounds can dissolve in it. Some green solvents used in the organic reactions are water, ionic liquid, supercritical carbon dioxide, glycerol, polyethylene glycol, perfluorinated compounds, but research are still going in this direction. To understand the effect of the solvent in the reaction, we must first know what are the different types of solvents available. Solvents are of two types, polar and non-polar. Again, polar solvents are of two types, polar protic and polar aprotic. What are they? A polar protic solvent is one which can donate proton as it is attached to an electronegative atom. The word protic came from the word proton. And a polar aprotic solvent means the solvent is polar but cannot donate H plus ion as it is not bonded to the electronegative atom. And a non-polar solvent is where the bonds are non-polar because they are made up of atoms of similar electronegativity. Here are some examples of polar protic solvent, polar aprotic solvent and non-polar solvent. Now, let us see the effect of the solvent in nucleophilic substitution reaction. Look at this example. It is observed that the rate of the reaction of tertiary butyl increases 3 into 10 to the 4 times as the solvent of the reaction is changed from ethanol to 50% aqueous ethanol. From where should we start thinking? Look at the substrate. It is a tertiary butyl bromide, which is a tertiary halide, and tertiary halide undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction via SN1 mechanism. SN1 mechanism proceeds through the formation of carbocation intermediate in the rate determining step, and finally the carbocation intermediate can give rise to the product. Therefore, any factors that can stabilize the carbocation can promote the reaction. This should be the basic thinking. Now let's look into the problem. Initially, the solvent was ethanol, to which water was added and 50% ethanol was obtained. As water is added, the polarity of the solvent increases as the dielectric constant of water is 80.4 and ethanol is 25.3. As water is added, the carbocation intermediate gets readily solvated by water molecule and the stability of the carbocation increases. This lowers the energy of activation of the reaction, and the reaction has to overcome a small energy barrier, and the rate of SN1 reaction increases. In contrary, the change of solvent from ethanol to 50% ethanol has very little effect on the rate of SN2 reaction. Rather, the rate of SN2 reaction slightly decreases. Why is it so? SN2 reaction proceeds through the formation of the transition state, where the negative charge on the nucleophile is dispersed from one end of the molecule to the other. Hence, the charge density decreases. Therefore, the nucleophile is stabilized more by the solvent rather than the transition state, and hence the rate of the reaction decreases. This we will understand better when we will look into the energy profile diagram. Now let us look at another example. The rate of the reaction of methyl iodide with azide ion at 0 degree centigrade increases 4.5 into 10 to the power 4 when the solvent is changed from methanol to DMF. Why is it so? Here again, from where should you start thinking? The substrate is methyl iodide. It is a primary halide, and therefore it undergoes reaction via SN2 mechanism. But why does the reaction rate increases when the solvent is changed from methanol to DMF? Methanol is having a dielectric constant 33 and DMF has a dielectric constant 37. As their dielectric constant is comparable, therefore the polarity of the solvent is same. Methanol is a polar protic solvent and DMF is polar aprotic solvent. In methanol, the azide ion is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. As in the earlier case, water was stabilizing the nucleophile, and the rate of SN2 reaction is observed to decrease as the nucleophile is not available for the reaction. The moment the solvent is changed from polar protic solvent to polar aprotic, no such stabilizing effect is possible because DMF cannot form hydrogen bond, and hence the nucleophile is free to attack the substrate, and the rate of the reaction increases 10 to the power 4 times. Not only that, in DMSO, the same reaction increases by 10 to the power 9 folds. What explanation can you give for this? DMSO is a polar aprotic solvent, so it also cannot form hydrogen bond with nucleophile. So, the nucleophile is free to attack as in the case of DMF as solvent. But why does the rate increases 10 to the power 9 times? 10 to the power 9 times. This is because DMSO has dielectric constant value 46, which is higher than methanol and DMF. This makes the solvent more polar, and this helps the reactant molecules to dissolve completely and will help in the cleavage of CX bond, where X is a leaving group. Therefore, the rate of the reaction increases 10 to the power 9 folds. Now let's look into the energy profile diagram for SN1 and SN2 reaction. The red curve indicates reaction in non-polar solvent and blue curve indicates reaction in polar solvent. In SN1 reaction, as the polarity of the solvent increases, the rate of the reaction increases. And as here the carbocation intermediate is stabilized, which lowers the energy barrier for the reaction and the reaction is faster. Whereas in SN2, the change in the solvent polarity from non-polar to polar decreases the rate of the reaction. This is because here the nucleophile, which is one of the reactant, is stabilized by the solvent, but transition state is not stabilized. Therefore, the energy barrier for the reaction increases and the rate of the reaction decreases. Here we come to the end of the lecture. In summary, as the reactant in the nucleophilic substitution reaction are polar, therefore polar solvent is necessary for both SN1 and SN2 reaction. Increase of solvent polarity and ion solvating ability, that is, change of solvent from polar aprotic to polar protic, can increase the rate of SN1 reaction. Similarly, change of solvent from polar protic to polar aprotic solvent can increase the rate of SN2 reaction. That's all for today's lecture. Myself, Dr. Kakali Lahiri, signing off and will be back soon with the next lecture. If you like my lecture, please subscribe and comment. The link for the earlier lectures are provided in the description box. Thank you and bye-bye.